Pick a card. What do your friends think and feel about you? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this psyching linking image on the right hand side of your screen. Today I'm not going to be doing any channeling regarding that, but I will tell you that this reading was inspired by our subscriber. I might mess up the name, Griffinina, at Griffinina. So thank you for the idea to do a friendship reading. What do your friends think and feel about you? I'm going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Pile number 1, what do your friends think and feel about you? We have the 2 of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Hermit. We have the Magician. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Father, the Sword, and the Castle. Let's see how we can get all these on camera here. So first off, I'm going to say pile number 1, your friends have a very good opinion about you. With the 2 of Wands, I feel like they believe that you have a lot of options, that you have 2 really good viable ones, also that you have really clear communication, and that you have a lot of mojo. You have, I guess you have some pretty good energy. You bring good vibes to the table is how I would describe this, right? Now, pile number 1, I also feel that your friends think that maybe you spend a lot of time in hermit mode, or you really tend to seclude yourself. You could be one of those people that kind of disappears on them from time to time, or quite often you spend a lot of time by yourself. And I feel like your friends also believe that this is your security blanket. This is your MO. This is your way of kind of recharging maybe. But I also feel like they believe that this is a habit. Some of your friends believe that it's just a habit, okay? They don't see like the benefits to it. And I'm just going to say that might be just 1 or 2 friends. But they've come to kind of accept this as you being you, right? Now, also, your friends know that you are a great manifester. And it seems like you, whatever it is that you focus on, you almost, I don't want to say instantly, but you have a really great ability to manifest. I feel like you also have all of the skills in order to bring about those manifestations. But one thing I will say is that your friends believe that you kind of ignore their messages, or that maybe you leave them unread, or you could be somebody who gets really preoccupied with whatever it is that you're manifesting or creating, right? And you ignore, I just want to say, their messages, or you forget to text back, or you don't initiate things like that. So that's kind of one of the downsides that I'm feeling like your friends are thinking about and feeling. Now, also, I believe that your friends know about you and how they feel about you is that you have walked away from a lot, and that you happen to look towards the past quite a bit. You look with your lantern also, and you can get a little bit morose, a little bit nostalgic, a little bit sad about things that have happened in your past. And I feel like your friends believe that you are transparent with them, but there's a lot that they don't really know. There's a lot they don't understand. They don't really even understand that castle in the distance. And, is that where you're headed, or is that where you're coming from? Or is this like an evil castle situation, and what exactly transpired? So I feel like they would like to know a little bit more in depth about what happened to you, because sometimes, what is that song called? Is it Lonely Eyes? Hungry Eyes. It's Hungry Eyes, but it's coming across as like Lonely Eyes. So maybe perhaps you, when you're sitting with them and chatting with your friends, they feel like you kind of get a little bit of a distant look and you're ruminating or reminiscing about something from the past. So overall, I definitely feel good vibes, more of an introverted nature, I think. But I also feel like your friends believe that you get a lot of downloads from spirit. Now, it's really interesting to me right here because also your friends are a little bit divided. I feel like most of your friends feel like, okay, two teams on pile number one. Now, your friend group, they can all agree, there's a common consensus that you are incredibly intelligent, that you're very smart, that you're knowledgeable, that you have an ability to dissect with precision. You possess skills like that of a surgeon. I'm just going to say that intellectually. But we have a reference of castle twice going on right here. And I feel like the room is divided into two different teams, right? And I feel like one team is, okay, well, Paul, number one, they spend a little bit too much time ruminating, and they use all this intellectual ability thinking about the past when they should really be focused on the future, that kind of a thing. Also, I feel like that same team also feels like you tend to activate your own weaponization against yourself. I hope that makes sense. In other words, I feel like you can trigger yourself because you're ruminating or you're thinking about the past and things like that. And it can trigger like a depression or a sadness and so on and so forth. So I don't feel like it's exactly a criticism, but I feel like this group, this team, wishes that you wouldn't really reflect so much because they don't like to see you sad. They want to see you a little bit more in this lighthearted. Even if you're hyper focused on something, they'd rather see that than you feeling that sadness. Now, on the other team right here, I feel like they also believe that you're incredibly intelligent, intellectual, but they also feel like, and they think that you are using your intellect to get to problem solve, like you're a great problem solver. I feel like, in fact, both camps come to you for solving problems. But on this second team, I feel like the second team has an awareness that when you do withdraw, that you withdraw your light, your energy. It's not to just go home and eat chips or sit around and eat Oreos and things like that. I feel like there might be kind of a, people that don't know you might really presume things like that of you. I don't know, maybe a couple of speckled people in group one as well. But I feel like these people know that you are actually going within in order to really kind of dissect and bring about things that are really critical and important to you and your movement and your manifestation for your time today, like current time. They also realize that you're incredibly intelligent and that you are going to draw the line where it's like, okay, my energy depends on my alone time. My creativity depends on my alone time as well. So maybe these people really recognize that your MO is a little bit different, that maybe you are, in true introvert or omnivore. I don't really know if I pronounce that correctly, but I feel like they also understand that you are building for something big. And I feel also that you go within in order to really kind of download messages from spirit and things like that. And this is where it is your source of growth, your source of progress, if you will, right? With the magician right here. And so they see this like reflecting, or the ability to, I'm going to say the ability to kind of realize that your joy isn't in the current circumstance and that you're going to kind of keep it moving. You're going to change and pivot. Whatever point you're on, they know that, these friends know that you are going to make changes. And if it doesn't work for you, that you will change it swiftly. And I'm not going to say you don't look back, because we're talking about looking back, but I feel like you're going to do it with full knowledge that you've tried everything and that you try to really Rubik's Cube your brain around so many different things and you've come to a conclusion. So I feel like the second group of friends really has that belief that you have your own mental authority, right? I don't know if that's even a correct way of saying it, in order to navigate your life. I feel like they believe that you're really determined. And also, this determination really encourages them. I feel like you have an incredible brand of discipline as well, that a lot of other people lack, or they might be in the dark over. So it's really quite interesting to see the dichotomy between these two different friend groups, and I feel like these could be peppered throughout all of your friends, or you could have like a big friend circle, or you could have just really big contrasting friend group. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like, yeah, you are definitely someone that they feel a kinship with, and a fascination with a little bit, especially in what you are creating, what you are manifesting. So both groups can tend to focus on, hey, pile number one, what are you making? What are you creating? What are you doing? That kind of a thing. Now, pile number one, it's interesting to me because we got the Father right here. And then when I pulled the Father in my head, I was like, the Father, and I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we got the Son and, the Holy Spirit? Sorry if anybody's Catholic. I grew up Catholic too. This is no slam on any religion. It was just an automatic knee-jerk oversharing reaction I just had right now, and here you go. But part of that maybe makes me think that you might have some friends that are like on a religious path, that kind of a thing, or in a spiritual path as well, and they could be very diverse. Now, I feel like each camp tries to find you in their story, and it's like, well, pile number one, they're my friend and they're really spiritual. Pile number one, they're really religious, or they believe in this. And I feel like each one, if you were to ask them individually, they would 100% believe that you are that person, that you are on their team, as far as I don't know, hardcore like philosophy or religion goes. And I don't know why that would even be a thing, but that's just what's coming up. Now with a Father as well. And this is somebody, it kind of gives me like emperor vibes, right? And the Father is the one who like makes the rules. It could be the great patriarchy, things like that. And I feel like they don't know a lot, maybe even about your parental figure, your parental unit, especially the Father. So this could be something that'd be of a great mystery. And also, this looks like a penny to me. I don't think it is, but I'm hearing penny for your thoughts. It's like, quick, tell me about your dad, penny for your thoughts, that kind of a thing. So people could be really curious about this parental unit as well. So pile number one, let's see. Let's use these other cards instead. What else? What else do we need to know? I need more information for pile number one. How do your friends think and feel about pile number one? How do your friends think and feel about you? With the Two of Swords, very interesting. And they think that you are very skilled, but when you set down, the rules, or you get to thinking about things, nobody is going to sway you or persuade you. That you are going to do your own thing. You could be stubborn at times. That's a general consensus also. You're incredibly intellectual, but you might be a bit on the stubborn side. And also that you might even procrastinate on needing to make a decision, okay? So Ace of Cups, yeah, you're incredibly giving and loving. You have a great heart space. I feel like that is echoed, but I think that you're a little bit low key about it. I think that considering like your aesthetics, or maybe you're a little bit standoffish with, I feel like being a little bit more on the introverted side, not totally. You could come across as not necessarily the friendliest person in the world initially, but once people get to meet you, it's like they warm up to you right away, and they're like, wow, it's like instant friendship. Spend 10 minutes with the pile number one, and they got a friend for life, that kind of a thing. What are they feeling about you? They have Knight of Cups. I love this penguin all geared up. Well, the Knight of Cups, the cup suit always talks to me about emotional gratification and, of course, love. And with the cup suit, I always think about the progression, right? And the page is always like puppy love. And it's like, oh, I'm in love with love. And the Knight of Cups is a little bit like, oh my gosh, you're gorgeous, and I can picture the rest of my life with you. And then, oh my gosh, shining. And they're off to something new, right? They're learning and growing in that skill. So something about you really speaks to you intellectually. You have armored yourself, because I feel like pile number one, everyone can see that you're clearly a penguin. And what that means, I feel like this goes along with maybe like you're a serial monogamist, or you date to get married, you date for infinity, that kind of a thing. You don't date just to try out the flavors and things like that for most of you. Now, I do feel like you offer your cup to other people, but you really come prepared and armed. And the thing is that you're a penguin. So when it comes to love, you're going to be a big softie. I think that you're very guarded and you're very mentally agile. And currently right now, I feel like even though you're not fully suited and booted, your mind is armored against anything like that. So even if you're in a relationship right now, you might have a little, some reservations or something that's preventing you from really focusing on that part of your life. But you are definitely a love bug, I'm hearing, according to your friends. Their thoughts and feelings are that you know how to love. You know how to make somebody feel good, especially if they're having a crappy day. You know how to build other people up. Pile number 1. We have the moon. Yeah, you could have a big connection with the moon. By the way, I wasn't going to talk about this. Here we are talking about this, but where has the moon been? If y'all notice, it's not been anywhere. I'm serious. Like the past 8 days now, at least I can't see it where I'm at. And apparently a lot of other people haven't been able to see it. But we're going to move on and stay away from controversy, because why would we ever talk about stuff like that? With the moon here, I feel pile number 1 that people really talk about the things that you do at nighttime, or the things that you do in private. I feel like also I'm hearing hoodwinked. Maybe you are you catch people by surprise. Like you work throughout the night, or you withdraw your energy, and then surprise, you're working on this big project and you launch it and you didn't even talk about it, or you were on your own trajectory, and so on and so forth. I feel like there's something of a workaholic in you. I don't know. That's a vibe I'm getting. Yeah. And pile, I just saw 14:14 on the clock right now. Pile number 1. The last thing I'm going to say is, I mean, we've got some winks. So you could be somebody who likes to talk. My son does this. My ex-husband did this. But when they talk to you, they look at you and they'll kind of wink, and I'm like, what is this? I remember being shocked when my son started doing that, but I'm like, okay. And so you could be somebody who like talks, and like in the middle of nowhere, you might wink to a child or something like that. Or you might say things tongue in cheek, but look at how she's kind of a little bit hiding the full moon here. And then we have the little, is that a half moon? I'm not entirely sure. And I feel like all of this really even speaks about prosperity. This is about healing, about dreams, but also being the high priestess. This is she who knows. And whether you're a he or she, it doesn't make a difference to me. You are all welcome on my channel. And I'm just going to say that your friends really believe that you're connected to the other side, that you get incredible downloads, that you are pretty regal in the way that you carry yourself, but they want more of you. They would like to see a little bit more of you. They would like for you to communicate a little bit more, maybe even share a little bit more about yourself, not necessarily about the dark stuff in your past and things like that, which, by the way, can include a father figure. Doesn't necessarily have to be a biological father, that kind of a thing, or somebody who had authority in your life or has authority, right? So I'm just going to say that they would like to know a little bit more about you. They'd like to see you be a little bit more social, and maybe even express that loving nature to more people. So that's what I have for you. Pile number 1, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this psychic linking image on the right hand side of the screen. Today I'm not going to be doing downloads on it. I just wanted to reconfirm that that was what you chose, because if you did, this is your pile. Pile number 2, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the shuffle, and we're talking about what do your friends think and feel about you. We're going to shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my channel. So pile number 2, what do your friends think and feel about you? Pile number 2, this reading, by the way, was inspired by one of our subscribers, Griffinina. So thank you so much for the idea. You suggested friendship, and I hope that you enjoy. So pile number 2, we have the 9 of Wands. We have the Hierophant. We have the 2 of Cups. We have the Page of Wands. These are not easy to pick up. We have the 10 of Wands. And we have Justice. So, first off, pile number 2, the feeling that I get from you is that your friends think that you are pretty traditional. I'm going to say that. Your friends also feel that you have been through quite a bit, that you could be a little bit on the defensive, very cautious, maybe even overcautious. I feel like there's a great symbiotic energy between you guys, okay? They definitely feel like you have great energy, things like that. You bring good vibes, because I'm feeling like lately, and at least in this deck, this is more like my good vibes card, that people connect with you deeply and emotionally. And I would say rather quickly as well, similar to pile number 1, but that, yeah, you've had a lot of burdens, and also that you wind up scooping fire into your lap. Let me explain. Pile number 2, I'm seeing right here that your friends feel and think that you really tend to take on too much. And this could be other people's burdens, other people's responsibilities. You tend to maybe ruminate on all the things that you have to do and things like that. So it might put you in a position where you tend to procrastinate. You're like, what's the point? Because I still have more and more to do every time I turn around. But most of all, I feel like the 10 of Wands, your friends feel like you can just really burden yourself a lot in pursuit of, I feel like, whatever you're trying to do that helps you gain confidence. So what I'm going to say is this can include, but not be limited to, like, getting your nails did every 2 weeks, or getting your hair done. And, believe it or not, some of us do not enjoy that at all. Case in point, I've hammered and broken a couple of nails, like really high injuries, but nothing that I really want to go back to the nail salon for them to fix for me. So I'm just going to say that in your desire to really improve, maybe you add a lot into your own lap on things to do, or you cause yourself a little bit of a dilemma because you overspend on things like that, on things that you feel like is going to help you feel more confident. This could be like facials, or getting massages, or whatever, things that you didn't budget for. Basically, maybe a little bit overspending. So I feel like they wish that you wouldn't do things like that to yourself. But other than that, I feel like with the Justice card, your friends feel like you are a very fair person, that you want things very equitable, like an even exchange. And outside of being a little bit like on the traditional, people would not be surprised, I think, your friend group, if they were like, okay, you were old school thinking, right? And it's like, well, the female does this role, the male does that role. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but traditional values is definitely being indicated right here. Or this can also indicate that you would just like want one partner if you don't have one already, or that maybe maybe one of you guys has taken a vow of celibacy, right? And maybe you didn't like publicly declare it, like, I'm now celibate and I'm pile number 2. That's not what I'm talking about. But maybe perhaps your friend group sees that you have dedicated yourself up to your spirituality rather than focusing on the flesh or things like that, or on relationships. So that could be another scenario. And keep in mind, these are not personal readings. If you would like one, you should find the Etsy link in the description and comments below. Yeah, so why am I not surprised? And I kind of chuckled. Okay, so here I find that your friends are feeling like you've been in a box a little bit too much, okay? And I just passed the mark of 444, so I feel like maybe too much stability, too much, maybe routine is what I'm feeling. Yeah, too much routine, too much ritualistic behavior, that kind of a thing. Where, for example, like for me, Saturdays, that's laundry day typically. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to do laundry on that day. Or, you know, it could veer off, but typically I'm going to try to aim for those days. And so you could have the similar meals, or you could have similar behavior where you come to work, and then you go home at a certain time and you stop by the same store and you kind of do the same thing over and over again. So they feel like you're a little bit in a box, and it's not like it's a bad thing because it doesn't really affect you necessarily or them or your friendship, but they wish that you would kind of branch out, open up a little bit, because they feel like you are definitely a hidden gem that people need to kind of be patient and to explore those layers of you. And they wish that they could get there. I'm hearing they wish they could get to center it since you're a little bit faster. That is so dumb. Sorry. But that's for somebody, okay? Don't hate me. Listen, pile number 2. Okay, I knew one of these apocalypses. So, you could be a doom scroller. You could be somebody who is a prepper. You could be somebody who like dehydrates meals, or I don't want to say stockpiles, but does canning and things like that in preparation. Should, you know, things go south, should we go, you know, should the grid come down, things like that. You could be somebody with that mindset as well. And I feel like also that they believe that your walls are really high. So your friends feel like your walls are high. They wish that you would let them down just a little bit, that you wouldn't be so, sometimes you can be a little bit negative. And I feel like I'd be feeling like this is my pile. What's going on here? Crystal, this is not a personal reading. So pile number 2, what do we have for you? Yeah, you are definitely, I feel like you're a believer in justice. You believe that, you know, things can be fair, they should be equitable, and you are not looking to do any more than anyone else contributes as well. Not meaning that you're, you know, looking for a handout at all, but you're looking for people that are going to pull their own weight in a friendship, relationships, you know, all the things, that kind of a thing. That kind of a thing. So the Knight of Coins right here. Yeah, you're very slow and methodical to pull the trigger on things. I feel like also there could be a thing where it's like you only deposit on a sure thing. You bet on a sure game, that kind of a thing. And people, I feel like, I don't know, people wish that you would do a little bit more. Like you would go out with them more, that kind of a thing. Because I have to stop saying that, by the way. Sorry. I feel like you really only focus on growth. Is it beneficial? Is it going to help? Is it going to, those things. And your friend group would like to see a little bit more spontaneity. Hey, let's jump in the car. Let's do this. Hey, come see a movie with me. Like, hey, let's, you know, I'm going to, I don't know, go to the river. I'm going to, you know, take a hike. Come with me. Impromptu. They want to see some spontaneity. Then we have the Page of Cups as well. So pile number 2, you could have a little dog as well. You could be somebody who is very well protected. I feel like you maybe live among, you know, trees as well, and you're in a secluded area, things like that. But even the simple fact that I feel like you can hibernate as well. With the Hierophant, I feel like you know, being more traditional, also feeling with this Hierophant that you have a tendency to hide away from people a little bit. So they wish that they could see more of you. And if that's not it, then pile number 2, it's that they want to see more of you because you have like too many, maybe you're not stingy with like going out with friends and stuff like that with your time, but that you're going out with, you know, too many and they want their turn, that kind of a thing. They want to be able to hang out and get to know you, get to know the layers of you, get to know what's behind the wall a little bit more than you've already divulged. So what else do we have for pile number 2? We have the Queen of Chalices, okay? Yeah, so this speaks about you being really in touch and emotionally giving to other people. But also I feel like people want to know about your travels. They want to know about your journey, mental, emotional, spiritual. Also, if you're on a fitness journey, they want to know a little bit more about that. If you are on... That's a lot of whales. Interesting. They also want to know, like, what makes you so deep when you go quiet and you get in your head. What is it that you think about when you withdraw from the world and you have all these walls up? What is it that you're protecting? They want to know a little bit more. They want to know about you deeper, right? And they also want to offer you a little bit of, I don't know, was it romance or like flirting and things like that? And your friend group wishes that you would be a little bit more available for that, because you're just looking at the ship and you're just feeling your emotions and you're just downloading information, but you're not necessarily focused on love or romance and things like that. So then we have the Knight of Cups right here. And that's interesting, yeah, because we're talking about love and being the cup suit and things like that. So pile number 2, they feel like maybe you're a great communicator. There's even a little knife right here, so you can communicate, but this person has their hand on their chest. This person is ronating as well, and they have their head down. So maybe perhaps it's like you've turned your back on love and you are following your intuition, but it's gone a little bit kind of overboard, that you can't, like, you don't have a lot of levity when it comes to things like that. If somebody flirts with you, then all of a sudden it gets awkward and weird because you're kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not for that. And people want to know, like, why are you so shut down when it comes to even a mild flirtation, right? Why does it take so much to get you to kind of loosen up? Pile number 2. What else do we have for you? What do your friends feel and think of you? Yeah, with the 5 of Cups, that you can get in your head a little bit, that you might be sad at times. And when you're sad, your friends wish that you would confide in them a little bit more, that you would be open to what exactly is haunting you. What is it that is bringing about those emotions, or even like what your triggers are. They want to help you through it. But pile number 2, I feel like you tend to do things on your own, right? What else do we have? Yeah, with the Judgment card. So pile number 2, your friends think that sometimes you can be a little bit too quick to judge or too judgy. Like if it doesn't fall within this square, that you're not going to mess with it, that kind of a thing. And then they wonder, like, why these patterns? Have you always been this way, or did something happen to kind of put you into some sort of, I'm getting like labyrinth. Is that how you pronounce it? With David Bowie, that movie. Anyways, that could be something of importance to you. But what took you through this maze? Because I can't pronounce the L word. Labyrinth. Here we go. So I'm going to say that your friends really want to talk a little bit about that. They want to know a little bit about that. Maybe they feel like they know a little bit about it, but they want to address the issue because they feel like some of these walls are definitely imprisoning you versus keeping you safe. And that is a big, big perspective difference. Pile number 2. Also, yeah, they feel like you can be a little bit on the obsessive side, but make no mistake. Pile number 2, these people also really believe that you are incredibly handsome, incredibly sexy, or I don't know why I always get this. No, that's pile number 3. I'm getting a little bit of that BDSM vibe, but maybe they would like to tie you up, that kind of a thing. Pile number 2, I feel like also they kind of want you to take your eyes off of whatever it is that you're riveted on. You know, it's like you have intense focus and things like that, but you don't share what you're focused on with other people, with your friend group, at least not much. They might know a little bit about things, but not enough to really make them feel included or exclusive. And I feel like they want a little bit more exclusive detail about you, exclusive access to you, maybe. They still feel like you are a little bit of a stranger, like you hold people at arm's length, and they wish that that were different. And they're very patient, in fact, very patient with you. Pile number 2, what else do we have? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. So pile number 2, your friends think and feel that you are actually a lucky charm, that since you've been in their lives in whatever capacity, that things have really improved, that you really help improve any situation, any relationship, that your perspective is really valued. I almost see this as like a wheel in an old school ship, that kind of a thing. Yeah, because I feel like this is like the navigating, how you navigate this ship. And people really enjoy this about you. They really enjoy it. They like to watch you kind of work your magic. And they also like the balance that you bring to situations where you can look at things from a higher perspective. Like if you look towards the center, you're not going to have a lot of movement, and you won't be riding the tides up and down, down and up, like emotionally, not as harshly as your average Joe. I feel like with you, pile number 2, what they like is steady. Steady Eddie wins a race, that kind of a thing. So what else do we have for you? Pile number 2. 5 of Wands. So I'm going to tell you, pile number 2, what your friends think and feel about you is that they really like when you get feisty, okay? I feel like you could have, I'm hearing Fighter by Christina Aguilera. So you could have a little bit of fighter in you. You could really enjoy a tussle, or you can really be somebody that they wonder if they were to wrestle or grapple with you, like who would win. But mostly I feel like they like to kind of mess with you a little bit to kind of get your emotions like out of this box, to get you going a little bit. And they can even talk about things that are, you know, in your eyes controversial or that you disagree with in order to elicit those emotions, because they want to see life in you. They want to see you living your life more than maybe you do within their view. Pile number 2. Also, yeah, so your friends do believe that you go with the current, you go with the flow, but there's a certain point where if things don't behoove you, you're going to move on. And also I feel like your friends feel like you're not going to be around for a long time, not like something bad's going to happen, but you're not going to be around as in you're going to make another choice and kind of move elsewhere. So yeah. And once again, we talk about, I did feel that with the Hermit, with the Hierophant right here. I feel like, yeah, you definitely go within, and it seems like you might be perpetually on a journey, and they want to know a little bit more about it. They want to know a little bit more about this journey, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's a spiritual journey more than a physical, but I do feel like your physical journey is reflecting the spiritual journey. I hope that made sense. Yeah, people could like to tease you to get under your skin a little bit and bring out that little wildcat every now and then just to, you know, let them know that you're alive. But otherwise, I think good vibes. They just want to get to know you a little bit better and spend more time with you. That's what I have. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, friends. My name is Grisel with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3. You chose this image on the right-hand side of the screen. It is just a psychic linking image to find your pile. Today, I'm not going to be telling messages about that, but we are going to be reading about what do your friends think and feel about you. So I'm going to go ahead and do a shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to my channel. So what do your friends think of you? What do they feel about you? Pile number 3. You have the Queen of Wands. You have what? The 6 of Cups. You have the 8 of Wands. You have the Hanged Man. You have the Hierophant. And you have 5, 6, 7 of Cups. I did have to count that out loud. So pile number 3. What do your friends think of you? What do they feel? So right off the bat, I want to think that you could be a Leo or a fire sign. I definitely feel like you're incredibly attractive, very alluring, not very demure, just kidding. So pile number 3, I feel like they're automatically just attractive. I feel like you can dress really well. You could be somebody who is in business for yourself, or a manager or mover, a shaker, and a candlestick maker. I definitely feel like you bring a lot of protectiveness. People feel protective towards you, especially your friends. Especially your friends. You could have 3 friends specifically that are great admirers of you. So also, pile number 3, there could be something to do, because this person almost seems like a ghost. Really interesting. So with the Six of Chalices, this talks to me about nostalgia, about the Six of Cups, about reminiscing of old times of where you grew up and things like that. So when people in your friend group feel like they've known you before, and I'm looking at, all of a sudden I'm noticing all of these things in her hair are actually like goldfish. So I feel like you're incredibly abundant. You could have long hair, not necessarily, but something about your hair could look rich. I'm also hearing bougie. You could look bougie. But also, your friend group thinks that you've broken some hearts, okay? These two together make me feel like you've left behind some people that like love you or are infatuated with you. And I feel like I would not be surprised if your friends actually fall in love with you. Whether same-sex, male, female, does make a difference, all right? Pile number 3, what I have for thee is that your friends feel like they would love to communicate more. They love to communicate with you. They like to ping pong those texts back and forth. The ball's in your court. They would love, I can't help but feel that there's a level of intimacy that these friends want to achieve. Now, not all of them, want that, but I feel like a lot of them do. They would not be mad at you for eating crackers in bed. Let's just say that. So I have all this pink right here too. It just gives me a lot of like love vibes, like love. And this could be, familial love, just loving to be around you. But also pile number 3, your friends really love your perspective. They love how you're not going to jump on things right away. How you look at things totally different from everybody else. They love how you take your time. And also that you're not embarrassed about having a different perspective. And I don't feel like you tout it out into the world and go, hey, I'm pile 3 and this is my perspective. No, but they come looking for it because it is a great mystery. It is unusual. It is, I don't want to say it's like less innocent, but I feel like maybe your friends, a lot of your friends could be sheltered or could have been sheltered growing up and so on and so forth. So I feel like you've lived a life. You've experienced life on the edge, living on the edge a little bit, are we? You could have had experiences throughout childhood, growing up, and those formative years really do shape us, positive or negative, things like that. So I'm feeling like your friends come to you for advice, for higher perspective, but they also want to get close to you. They want to know, like, why do you think the way that you think? They also want to know why you are so committed to some ideas and ideals, right, that you have. But your friends know that you have a key. Also, your friends trust you with keys. So if they go out of town, things like that, they will trust you with the key to their home. I mean, you would think friends, automatic trust, but not necessarily all of us trust. So it's a big thing. They know that they can trust you with really big tasks. They know that you will be responsible and that you will uphold whatever it is that you commit to. And that's one thing, that you're super, super reliable. They never doubt this about you. You have a lot of options, and I keep looking at goldfish. Something about abundance keeps coming up with them. So people think that maybe you make a lot of money, or that you're really bougie, or that you have luxury taste, or that you are bougie on a budget and you shop well, regardless, that you always look kind of immaculate, and that you have an eye for style, and that you are abundance, that you are abundance, right? That you speak abundance into the world and it just comes to you. So I'm feeling a lot of that come through as well. And again, a lot of pink, like with fondness. I love this card so hard. So pile number 3, you happen to have number 3 with the Starborn. Your friends think that you're really something else, that you are really different, that maybe even they can feel like you're a star seed or you're different, even if they don't believe in stuff like that you're incredibly different, that when you were born, when you were made, they broke the mold. I feel like that could be said about you coming from your friends. Also, that you have an ability to create, that you're a great creator, that you have a great imagination, that it seems like your hands and your brain gets touched by the gods above or by all the muses, because you have such great ability to create. And also your speech, the way that you speak, is hands down just intriguing. People know that you are a great speaker. And you can talk a lot about dreams, about dreaming, about things that you would like to do or how you would like to see the world with all the flowers. You definitely have a beautiful mind. Absolutely have a beautiful mind and a lot of self-control. So pile number 3, what else do we have for the village? So your friends think that you are somebody who, you know how that phrase, well, it takes a village to raise a child? Your friends really believe that about you, that you are communal thinking, that you're not about like, okay, let me step on people's necks to get to the top, that you really think about the benefits of everyone and collaborating together and so on and so forth. They also know that you have come through and walked through some seriously rough terrain that maybe is a great mystery. Maybe you haven't elaborated about it. I feel like that message came through in all 3 piles. You could be somebody who watched all 3. If you did, thank you. And if you did not, thank you. That's fine too. Pile number 3. What do your friends think of you? What do they feel about you? Also, this reading was inspired by a subscriber, Griffin Nina. So I hope I said that right, but thank you so much. She said a friend's reading, and here we are doing a friend's reading. Pile 3, what do we have for thee? How do your friends think and feel about thee? Ace of Cups. This definitely came out before with the 808 number, just time-stamped on my camera, so that could be of special meaning to you. Maybe you like Kanye West too. I love the real Kanye, but anyways. The Fool. Yeah, that you're willing to take chances. And I'm seeing a lot of pink and a lot of, maybe you've done a lot of moving. Maybe you've seen the world. Maybe you worked for, I don't know, maybe you're in the military and things like that. You got to travel the world quite a bit because you were a military brat, or maybe you were serving in the forces and so you were stationed at different places. Something about you seeing the world from a different perspective, and they would love to be able to get your take on things like that too. I wonder why they don't ask, or why you don't talk about it. Okay, well, that answers that, I guess. With the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like divulging a little bit about yourself does take time. It does take, I don't know, an element of trust, I'm going to say, because even though you are communal thinking, I feel like you're very much into giving and not taking, and you don't share a lot about maybe your past trauma or where you came from, and so on and so forth. So it does take time. Your friends think that you're incredibly intelligent. Again, you could wear some really cool shoes because look at them feet. What's going on there? You could wear a lot of green, or green can really be a great color for you. Yellow is radiating and it's screaming like the solar plexus, and it's screaming confidence. Confidence. I feel like you have a lot of confidence, or at least your friends feel like it. Yeah, you could have a type for pile number 1. I believe that's where this one came out, but you're definitely coming out as the High Priestess, as she who knows, as someone who speaks their truth. Maybe even you speak tongue-in-cheek sometimes, and you'll say something and you wonder, I wonder if anyone's going to catch that. But you don't elaborate on it, and you don't make a big fuss because you want it to be really authentic. Maybe you leave little Easter eggs for people to find metaphorically, right? During your speech or during your travels. And you're surprised when people do pick up on the subtle cues and clues that you actually offer. I feel like that could be quite special about you. And that's when people start thinking, wow, there's a lot more to you than I thought. That kind of a vibe. And that's when they want to get more into your energy. They want to, yeah, they trust you. I feel like your trust level is impeccable. Your friends definitely trust you. They look up to you. Well, they're your cheerleaders. They want to cheer for you. Is that cute or what? But also I feel like you guys work well together. Like whatever it is that you do, however your friendship looks, because all friendships are different. I'm hearing you guys are peas in a pod. It's super cute, but also I feel like all the cogs get really close in order for them to work properly, right? The cogs of the wheel, you know, the cogs. I'm all, you know, that thing called cogs. But pile number 3, I feel about thee that your friends really like how you will draw close and really pull your own weight and help get in gear everything else that needs to pull through. Like there's a energy of teamwork, a spirit of teamwork right here, where if they want you to put on a crazy hat and pom-poms, you will for them. And that you will encourage them as well while they're doing work and you're putting in work. You're going to team together. You're not going to let them kind of toil or suffer by themselves or do whatever it is that they do by themselves. It's if it's raising kids, you know, you're going to be like, wow, you're good job, mama, or good job, daddy. Your kid did so great, and this, that, and the other. You're going to cheer them on as well. So I feel like there's a lot of reciprocal energy here, and they really enjoy this about you. That you're somebody who is surprisingly complimentary, that you hand out compliments like you hand out candy, but each one is really authentic and heartfelt, and they love that about you. Pile number 3, the Knight of Wands. They also know that you can get a little bit fired up, a little bit fiery as well. Maybe fiery with your speech, the things that you talk about, that you could be, dare I say, a little bit careless, a little bit reckless with your words or topics that you choose to talk on, speak on. Yeah, and judgment. So this could definitely echo that, where maybe perhaps you once in a while will delve your toe into something that might not be politically correct, considering the company on hand. You know, if you're around your friends and other people around, things like that, maybe you shouldn't be talking about that, but you're gonna talk about it because maybe you get fired up or something gets under your skin or somebody says something and you're like, well, actually, and you're gonna bust out with the facts because you've done your research. And I feel like instead of like pushing away from you, this draws other people near to you with a little bit of fascination, because they're like, wow, I didn't think, you know, because for the most part, I feel like you're even keel. You're not trying to rock the boat. But once in a while, you know, depending on the topic, depending on the mood, you're going to rock that boat. And I don't feel like it's a malicious intent or that you have a lot to prove, but I feel like it's, again, authentic and genuine. So somehow it still comes across like still very classy. 8 of Wands, yeah, your communication style is great. You are definitely coming across as a great unicorn. Anybody would love to have you as a friend, as a bestie. I'm hearing as a light to the world, which is really quite interesting because I feel like that's what your friends inadvertently feel and think about you. They also feel like if you were to go to a club or anything like that, you would be the unicorn. And let me tell you, they're here to defend the unicorn. Now, pile number 3, there could be something about questioning your intuition, or I feel like they have questioned it in the past, and they've seen your intuition somehow, some way at work. And so now they don't question it. They rely upon it, and they might even shoot you a text. Hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, can you pull a card about that? If you're a reader, if you're a scryer, or if you are somebody who gets downloads from Spirit. We have the King of Cups right here. And your friends know that you're incredibly deep, like you're very, very deep. But also maybe that's what gives you your security, and you can get a little bit of your self-esteem from that depth as well. Meaning like it's almost like you get your self-esteem, depends a little bit too much on how deep you can go. And sometimes your friends could think that you're a little bit haughty, but I mean, if you got it, you got it. And I definitely feel like you got it, so why not? Why not? 9 of Pentacles, what I tell ya, bougie babe, boss babe. Willing to work and do whatever it takes to get to where it is that you need to go. Dreaming far and wide. I feel like I'm hearing the word expansion. Something about you likes to expand upon things and maybe improve the status quo, improving where you're at currently. Yeah, but definitely whatever it is that you build with your hands, you provide your own, I would say your own budget, your own monetary value. You don't rely on other people to give you money, so on and so forth. Something about the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, so you really make moves, but you make smart moves. You take your time. You really look at things from a different perspective, every angle, before you go rushing into things. I feel like also once upon a time, your friends know that once upon a time that wasn't always true, but that you've learned a lot of powerful lessons. Something else. I'm all something. Talking with a lisp here. Sorry, guys. So I'm noticing the sacral chakra colors coming up, and also the heart color, heart chakras are coming out as well. So I feel like something about like pleasure or really enjoying yourself. People love when you enjoy yourself. They love when you communicate, when you get fired up, when you get excited about things. They love that about you. They realize that you have the ability to see far above and beyond most people, and they love that about you as well. But they want you to take a little bit of a chance. They want you to really enjoy your life more and give yourself over to being exactly who you were meant to be. Because I feel like pile number 3, out of all 3 piles, I feel like all of them were special, but I don't want to say I have a favorite, but I feel like with the Starborn being here, that people really kind of pedestal you, and there's something really uber special about you. Why would I say uber special? I have no idea. But something really beautiful about you, about your aura, about your energy, about your spirit, about whom you are. And I feel like this brings everyone around you. They want to kind of surround you and just be close to you. They want to be like the bestie, the best friend. They want to gain perspective, and they want to gain some of your knowledge and wisdom, but they also want to have fun with you. They want to experience like good times with you. They want you to open up your heart a little bit more, because they see that you have a big heart when it comes to like communal giving or community, or you know, things that really require a lot of nurturing. But they want that for, I don't want to say personal use is what I'm hearing, but that's not what I really mean. I don't feel like these people are using you. I just feel like they want more reciprocal energy from your heart chakra. They want your heart to open and soften, trust a little bit more, and for you to feel confident and calm about having more fun, more zeal, more laughter, more pleasure, enjoying your food, going out more, spending time with people that you care about more, just more of whatever makes you you. Pile number 3, that's what I have for thee. Thank you so much for your time. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.